So here comes Sergei KOLDENKOV of Russia. Produced a very good performance yesterday to win by unanimous decision against Bayram Durdi Nurmuhamedov of Turkmenistan. He got past Tiago Muxanga. The fight before that, again, another pretty much perfect display. Dropped him with a left hand right at the end and wins against Jan Ubanes and Yashpal, a European junior champion back in 2020. And like other fighters in this competition, this would be him putting his stamp at senior level if he could get the win.
Representing Kazakhstan, Ablaikhan ZHUSSUPOV.
Ablaikhan ZHUSSUPOV was a similarly prolific youth champion. He's the reigning Asian senior champion, claiming gold last year at 71 kilograms from the event in Thailand. Here he got his campaign underway in the round of 32. And at the semi-final stage, he produced a sensational performance, beautiful movement to nullify a power puncher in the form of Ikhtiar Noshonov of Kyrgyzstan, taking that one on a unanimous point decision verdict. 3 World Championship bronzes already in the Elite Senior Championships in Hamburg 2017, Katerinburg 2019, and Belgrade 2021. The 2016 Olympian in search of his first Elite Senior title here in the 71 kilogram light middleweight division.
So KOLDENKOV of Russia in the red, ZHUSSUPOV Kazakhstan in the blue. And of all the fights on the schedule today, this is maybe the one I've been looking forward to most.
Round 1.
A pair of southpaws. Looking for the jab to the body there, ZHUSSUPOV. Didn't quite land it. Same thing from KOLDENKOV. Just looking for that little dip glide there, ZHUSSUPOV. Timed it well there and landed that left hand to the body. He's probably got the reach in terms of, probably got the advantage in terms of reach, ZHUSSUPOV. They're about the same height, these two, I would imagine, but you look at ZHUSSUPOV and he's got a big wingspan on him, you can see that. Just stooping and looking for the right hand to the body there, KOLDENKOV. And he's finding it difficult to get to ZHUSSUPOV at the moment. He's got that kind of up and down movement. He's not quite up on his toes, although he is at times, but it's just that beat, that rhythm. And those feet are very important to it. Shaped with the left hand there, ZHUSSUPOV, didn't end up throwing it. And neither one of these two has made a major move yet. Nothing unusual in that, given that we're just at the halfway stage of round 1. There's a big left hand from ZHUSSUPOV. Stepped in, made that commitment, threw it hard. And it bounced off the features of KOLDENKOV as he was coming forward. He took it well, but that's by far the most impressive scoring shot of the round so far. He looked for a right hand there, KOLDENKOV, but it was decently defended. And this is the issue he's got, is that ZHUSSUPOV looks capable of keeping this at a distance that suits him, but then he's able to dip and throw that big overhand left, and he tries it again there. Just before that, he landed with a couple of jabs to the body, and there's a body attack. Maybe stayed there a bit too long, and KOLDENKOV got a punch back of his own. It's the final minute of round 1, and this is a ZHUSSUPOV round so far. He's got to find a way onto the inside here, KOLDENKOV. Moved in behind the jab there, and maybe just shut down his space a touch. Well, he got a right hand back there, I think, ZHUSSUPOV, as he came forward. He let his hands go, but that time he was countered effectively. And that's something for KOLDENKOV to take into round 2, because I think he's dropped this opening round, but that will just give him some encouragement. Even at this level, fighters need that. Their self-belief is incredible at times, but he landed one there and he needed it, because prior to that, it had been mostly blue.
Yes, I agree. And that solid shot that he was able to land inside the closing seconds of the opening round, giving something to build upon for round number 2, because I think the opening round is gone courtesy of shots such as that, just finding his range more effectively. But there was the right-hand success towards the end of the round. Look at the response it elicits from the KOLDENKOV supporters in the crowd. I think the man in blue settled more quickly, found his range with more consistency, and was the more active boxer over the course of the first 3 minutes. But crucially, and maybe it was that single shot that he landed, KOLDENKOV could well get a share of this round for that success deep into the stanza.
So 4-1 the split with the judges there at ringside. So he's got on the board there, KOLDENKOV, and I'm not going to say he's lucky, but at the same time I think he could quite easily have seen that round go 5-0 against him. So he's got something there. ZHUSSUPOV was good in that opening round. He kept emotional on the outside. When he moved in nice and quick, let those hands go. What he can't do when he moves in and punches is admire that work. He needs to keep KOLDENKOV moving and turning. It's not because he's some kind of immobile big lump, far from it, but ZHUSSUPOV is capable of fighting from that longer range because of that greater reach, and he can throw that jab, double jab, backhand, step off, and make life difficult for KOLDENKOV. He just tries to work away on the inside there. And maybe he does need to bring a bit more heat here, the Russian fighter. He's being patient, he's trusting in his technique, but he won't have seen actually his teammate Shumkov earlier on and the kind of pressure he brought, trusting that he would hit that tipping point early enough. But that's kind of the situation that he's in here. He's a different kind of a fighter, but he's got to try and turn this around in the second round. We're a minute in, and there's that jab just pops up from away from ZHUSSUPOV, a left hand into the body. KOLDENKOV 5 back. Every now and again when he launches that left hand in from the outside there, ZHUSSUPOV, he is a bit open. He does reach for it a bit, chases it in, if you like, throws it, and is quite determined to try and get there with it, even if that means him losing his balance slightly. He steps in there, the Russian, and tries to let his hands go, but that was pretty well defended by ZHUSSUPOV. He just dips the knees and looks for the left hand to the body, but again, I think it was well defended that time by KOLDENKOV, just dropping his elbows on it. Lead right hand there from KOLDENKOV. The pair of them swap jabs. Right hand from KOLDENKOV on the move. Then just tries to move in behind that double jab there, KOLDENKOV, a left hand from ZHUSSUPOV. There isn't loads in this round. A strong finish here from KOLDENKOV, and he could get what he needs here to keep himself in this. Is there a bit of damage to the left eye there of ZHUSSUPOV? I think maybe there is, but it could be marking up from an earlier fight. Closing stages now, and again he's just bombing from the outside with that left hand there, ZHUSSUPOV. There's a good jab. But that's a nice chopping down right hand from KOLDENKOV, followed by right. He stayed patient in this round. He's never gone gung-ho. I was encouraging him to put his foot on the gas, but he's trusted in his ability. I think he just wore a left hand there from ZHUSSUPOV. Final few seconds. Well, he needs at least a share of this round, KOLDENKOV, and he did do some good work.
And I think towards the end of the round, we landed that 3-punch combination, then he landed a single hook thereafter out of the southpaw stance, just as he produced a strong conclusion to the first round to perhaps get him a share of that. I think he performed better in the second. I thought that clean patch of work in the closing stages should be enough to give him a share of the round. He did enough to take the round, because again, it was very similar to the first, but I do think KOLDENKOV had more success. And again, that clean work that he produced, ending with that steep backhand on a downward trajectory, was really notable. But it's only enough for one of the judges, and it's been scored by the same judge in his favor, which means that it's a 4-1 split in favor of the man in blue.
And that's key, isn't it? The fact that it's the same judge, because if it had been a different judge, then he'd still be alive here, because we would have 2 drawn cards, and if he could have won them both, then it'd be 3-2, and you go to bout review. But that kind of lifeline has been taken away from him, so the only way he can turn this around now is if he has an absolutely monster final round, because he needs 10-8s here, and against Ablaikhan ZHUSSUPOV, that is going to be a very difficult thing to do. So now he does really need to throw a bit more caution to the wind. Again, still, you can't be reckless at this level. If you just steam forward, flinging punches apropos of nothing, you will get slaughtered. But he's got to try and find a way to hurt ZHUSSUPOV. It's as simple as that. He needs a dominant round win, and in any final, that is a big ask. And just like some others we've talked about today, this would be a huge win for ZHUSSUPOV. We outlined his resume earlier on, a number of bronze medals, but he may have been wondering if he was ever going to take his place in the centre of that podium. It can seem like it's a mile away sometimes, it's just one step away, but the difference can seem absolutely huge. But he's just 90 seconds away here, ZHUSSUPOV. And again, he's boxing like somebody who knows what the scores are going into this final round, because he's not looking to engage too much. He's happy to get shoulder to shoulder here and just let that clock run down. And throw that single end up on the shoulder and again just take some time out of the round. And a bit like our previous fight, I do find myself wondering why KOLDENKOV isn't going after this just a bit more urgently here. Good jab. ZHUSSUPOV, and KOLDENKOV manages to make his man stagger a little bit, lands the combination. ZHUSSUPOV just trying to bound around the outside of the ring. That was some good success there from KOLDENKOV. That's exactly what he needs. He's got to try and build on that. He just couldn't quite catch up with ZHUSSUPOV there, who just gets a hold of him and buys himself a little bit more time. I don't really know if he was hurt there. He certainly found himself slightly off balance, but sorted those feet out quick and managed to find some open ring. And he gratefully just leapt into that space. 15 seconds remaining. KOLDENKOV is imploring him really just to stand still, but he's not going to do that. There goes the 10-second clapper. And he is mere seconds away from a gold medal here. A much longed-for gold medal. And KOLDENKOV literally runs after him at the end of the round there. That combination towards the end of the round, given the way that the round went, and he was kind of up on his toes and on his bike a bit, wasn't he, to be honest, in that final round, and you couldn't blame him. That may well win the final round for KOLDENKOV, but he's won the fight.
Winners, I welcome.
Indeed, he set his stall out pretty early, found the range more effectively, more consistently at the conclusion of each the first and the second round. The left cross of KOLDENKOV began to find the range, and earlier in the round there was that left cross success which caused this man to stagger. Again, he was moving laterally around the boxing ring, but that just caused him to get on his bike a little bit more quickly. He then claimed his man just to kill the clock a little bit. KOLDENKOV immensely frustrated, and at one point he held his hands out as if to say, stand and fight me, stop this sticking and moving, or stop this moving. But I think it's the man in blue who's going to be the gold medalist.
After 3 full rounds, we go to our judges at ringside. They see this contest as a win on points, declaring your winner by split decision, and now the IBA World Champion, fighting out of the blue corner, from Kazakhstan, Ablaikhan ZHUSSUPOV.
Well, we've seen that kind of reaction before today, that just visceral scream of joy. He's got it 4-1, he's dropped that final round actually 5-0, so KOLDENKOV getting it with all of the judges. But it's a similar scenario we talked about, isn't it? This was huge for his career because he's picked up bronze medals, that's great, but in the end These athletes are here to win. They are here for one reason and one reason only, and that is to win.
And
much like Ilya Popov, this man was outstanding as an underage boxer. I was ringside at the Youth Olympic Games in Nanjing, the second edition of the Youth Olympic Games, when this man took Youth Olympic gold, had the World Youth gold as well, was an Olympian way back in Rio in 2016, and then those 3 bronze medals, getting him close but not quite any cigar. And here he is in 2025, and we saw what the moment meant to him to be crowned finally as an elite senior world champion.
World champion, Kazakhstan.
He lived every minute of that national anthem, Ablaikhan, ZHUSSUPOV. He really, really did. And these are the moments that all the hard work is for. This is what you're visualising. So when it comes along, you need to make sure you enjoy it. Often you hear in elite level sport people talking about how you just need to put that trophy away and move on to the next one. Well, that's fine, but at least give yourself a few days to enjoy it. There's that combination that landed in the final round and then the follow-up, and I think he was a little bit hurt by that, and you see the disfigurement, the marking up to the face there, but I think he knew the scores going into that final round, played it quite safe. He dropped the round, but he could afford to drop the round.
Sergei Sapiev